Peter in Holland writes, "My wife and I listen to our stereo almost 7 days a week." Good job. We do it before bedtime. We both have a recliner, and we enjoy our music with a good book and occasionally a glass of wine. The loudspeakers are 8 feet from our listening position, and they are 7 feet apart. The problem is that I hear the right speaker better than the left, and my wife just the opposite. How can I fix this problem so that we both have a natural stereo image? Okay, well, first off, it's always hard to tell because I'm not there, and I don't know what your setup is. A typical setup that I see a lot is where speakers are towed in to facilitate the perfect stereo image in the middle. As you move away from the middle, that toe-in really works against you because, again, you're pointing those speakers directly at your ears, and that's the typical way of setting them up. And one of the reasons why that's the typical way is because the typical loudspeaker has flat frequency response on axis, in other words, when it's pointing right at you, and not so flat frequency response off axis. So it requires you to kind of turn them in. Now, I don't support that kind of design. We don't make that kind of design. Chris Brunhaver, our chief speaker genius guru, doesn't support that either. So what we look for, what Chris looks for, is when we design speakers, we make them flat, off axis and on axis. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's unusual. Most speakers don't have that ability, and you can always look this up when you see their specs if they'll show you the on and off axis response. But if you have a flat off axis response, guess what? You don't have to toe them in so much. In fact, we think you shouldn't toe them in hardly at all. At home, my speakers are straight ahead, okay? And I get great imaging anywhere I am pretty much in the room. And that's because the whole pattern that they have is flat. So if I'm over here, I get a flat response. If I'm over here, I get a flat response. I don't have to be right in the middle. So it may be that your speakers are fairly flat off axis, and all you need to do is not toe them in so much. I recommend getting my book, The Audiophile's Guide, the stereo or the loudspeaker, and there are some really good hints in that book about setup that will help increase the size of the center image. Or buy yourself a pair of Aspen FR5s and be done with it. And then enjoy that glass of wine. All right, have fun. Bye.